Skate Storch in the building. Welcome to the EO Beat Challenge, week 4. Last week, our winner, Jess James. This the beat right here.
I'm your love, business.
Woo!
I mean, yeah, but I just for protection.
EOB challenge, Storch. Let's get it. Oh, I'm about to tell these guys. Yo, Mike Assassin shit. Alright. We got Steve Almighty. We got Bimba. We got Dat Boy Craig. We got Handerson back again. We got Law. We got dizzle. 3 samples, 1 beat. Let's get it. Woo! Alright. This week the judges, we got Dizzy Sense, we got Dutch Vega, Flacco Bio, and we got co-founder of the EOB Challenge, Soulful Soze. Let's get it. So you already know how it goes. We got 3 samples. We got the song sample, the movie sample, and the weird sound. And the judges are basing it on 4 categories, each one rated 1 through 5. Dizzy, I know when you was judging, it was only 3 categories, but this time it's 4. The first one is presentation. So that's your format and your structure, your transition, stuff like that. Creativity, how did you use the sample? What part did you use? What makes it interesting? What makes it unique? Song ability. Can we make a song on this? It's fly, but is it too busy? Is it just right for the rapper or singer to come on and make a song on it? And most importantly, or whatever, however you view it, bop. It gotta have that bop, whether it's in the club or in the car or in the house, whatever, can you bop to it? So this week's samples, I picked out the samples this week. It's a French group by the name of Montgomery. The song is called Jeremy, so I'm gonna play out the song. Here we go. Montgomery. We took it to France this week. It's a little international this week.
Après tous ces mélanges de colorants, j'ai perdu mon sang-froid sous antibiotiques. Je suis nostalgique du temps des mutants. Et même si vous me manquez, je me sens bien mieux ici. À 6 pieds sous terre, ou bien sous la mer, je n'ai pas encore touché le fond. Et là-bas sans être second, au milieu du paysage lunaire, sans sentir, sans entendre ni voir, comme c'est beau.
right. So as you know, we always play the full sample because we want everybody to hear exactly what the scope of it is. But I forgot to cut down the second one, the movie sample. It's really long. I'm just gonna play the first 2 minutes of it because it's a lot longer than I thought. But it is what it is. It's all good. This is Mike Tyson talking about DMT.
I've been told that you were born again, basically, 3 or 4 months ago, that you found a place where, and I'd like you to explain this to me, the toad. I'd like you to explain the toad to me.
Do you understand the toad?
Is it like ayahuasca?
No, it takes you to another level. Ayahuasca is nothing compared to this.
Is it called DMT?
Yes. The toad, and it's in the Sonora Desert and has a venom in it. And you smoke it. Once I tried it, boom! Everything just went so fast. And when I fell out, the only thing I was conscious about was out. My brain was still functioning, my thoughts, I could still talk to myself, I could hear my mind, and I was saying, I fucked up. And I killed myself.
Because you killed the ego.
I'm dying. It was just really mind-blowing.
Spiritual in nature, though, right?
Yeah,
Like you're just...
Yeah, really, my whole life totally changed. It sounds like a movie script, but it's really the real deal.
At that moment, you're talking about like you come to and you are altered. You are altered and it stayed.
I don't know. I wake up, I'm happy, I'm laughing, I'm smiling, I'm thinking, what the
Really?
happened? Yeah.
Really?
Had no idea.
So sex, cocaine, championship belt, those weren't happiness?
Nothing, no. It lasts forever, but it was only 15 minutes. But it felt like hours. And it was frightening.
Because of that ego thing, because you realize you're small all of a sudden.
Yeah, once I realized that I'm nothing, I realized all my fancy clothes, my big clothes.
Can you explain to me why it makes you emotional just talking about it? Because I imagine the reason it makes you emotional is because for 4 decades you've been trying to find happy, man.
Well, you know, when you think you know everything and then you realize you don't know anything, that's a big awakening. You can call it growth or you can call it divine intervention.
You do realize you're talking about the toad like someone would talk about God, right?
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's God. I'm not going to put nothing in the same breath as God.
Can you?
Sick. I could listen to Mike talk all day. For real. So, okay. And then last but not least, we got the weird sound. All right. So now that we heard that, you already know the producers had a few days to come up with a beat using all 3 samples. And the judges are going to narrow it down to 2 people to go head to head and go off camera and make a flip a whole new beat using these samples and a 4th secret sample that's not going to be revealed until we get a winner. And we're gonna pick a BPM range for you that you have to follow. So we know you're doing it on the spot. So, but I know all the producers that are in this made multiple beats using these samples. So while they go off camera, whoever's not in the top 2 are gonna play their other beats, and we're gonna talk about the process and the samples and all of that. So it's gonna be awesome. Let's get ready. Y'all ready to go? Y'all ready to get it started? Who am I? Yeah, everybody come off mute real quick. Come off mute. EOB challenge.
Boom, bang, bang.
What up, what up, what up?
Yeah, let's go.
Get it. All right, let's see. Annie, are you okay? Why don't you pick the first contestant to go?
Dizzy Sense.
She's not a contestant.
She's a judge.
She's a judge.
Can she be a contestant?
Trust me, I asked her.
I don't know, number 2?
We didn't pick numbers. Let's see. We got Ben Buck, we got Back Handerson, we got Steve Almighty, we got V Dizzle, and we got Dat Boy Craig. Am I missing somebody?
Mass Law.
Mass Law. There you go. Our first contestant from England. I know it's late over there. Yo, let's give it up for that real quick. From the UK. On some real shit, this is our first contestant, and you know it's late over there. So we in the building. All right, Annie, let's go. Pick one of them names.
Steve Almighty.
Steve Almighty, let's go. You number one. I'm gonna stop sharing. You share your computer sound, and let's get it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, Steve, on the bottom, you got to do the share screen advanced all over again.
Shit.
There you
There
are.
you go.
There we go. I forgot to press the blue button. Oh.
Round one, Steve Almighty, let's go.
I fucked up. Oh, shit.
Were you just trying to do that live?
No, because the sample itself got tripped up in the session, so I fucked up. So for whatever reason, it keeps triggering the whole sample.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that was sick though. That was sick. You definitely had some interesting choices in there. I see you picked that little. Is that little boop from the middle of the song?
Yeah, that's like where there's that spot where the beat drops out, and then there's like what sounds almost like a feedback sound.
Yeah.
That
I was wondering who was gonna be the one to like make the most out of that one little sound, because I thought
that
it
one
was
little sound.
so
Yeah.
interestingly placed. You know what I'm saying? So tell us a little bit about the samples that you chose, and like maybe like isolate a stem real quick, and just like tell us about why you chose what you chose. And
yeah, I'm gonna hope I'm not playing wherever it is that I got tripped up and played the whole thing. But honestly, all I did for that, I started late, you know. So all I did was I took the weird sound, I reversed that and kind of used that as just the lead-in piece, which is where sort of that, which sounds like one of them things on a door, one of the door stops getting plucked.
that's exactly what that is.
That's what I thought. And then for Mike comes in a little bit later, and Mike is just kind of uses environmental sound in the background there. And then using that little piece of feedback and just multi-sampling that, and then otherwise using like using the quarter beat whenever there's sort of those little bridges in the song when that, and using that to kind of like create the drama and let into for whatever reason it keeps picking up.
That shit definitely got a bop. That shit definitely got a swing to it.
Appreciate it.
That's dope.
Appreciate
That's dope.
it. Thanks for
All
having
right.
me.
That was no doubt. Anytime. That was round one. Let's see, Danny, who you want to see for round two?
Choosing from.
Huh?
I'm choosing from.
You choosing from V Dizzle, Mass Law, Ben Buck, Dat Boy Craig, and Back Handerson.
Ben Buck.
Ben Buck. Let's get it. Steve Almighty, stop sharing your computer sound, and Ben Buck, connect to it. I don't know if your situation changed from last time or if you're going to be playing it into the speaker.
It's gonna be through the speaker.
Yeah, he's playing it the same way.
Okay.
Yep. Check.
Round two, Ben Buck, EOB challenge. Let's go.
Check.
Ayahuasca, well, it takes you to another level. Ayahuasca is nothing compared to this. Is it called DMT? Yes.
Sick. Ben Buck, I know you from Austin, but you be having some sounds that are so fucking Staten Island, grimy, fucking Stapleton sounds. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hear a lot of like Nick Jack and shit like that with you. I wish we could hear it better. We got to find a way to get your thing through the computer, but that still sounded sick. And that was the first time ever somebody did a live beatbox and whole live vocal overlay situation in the beat challenge. So that's really dope. So tell us a little bit about the samples you used and how your whole process went.
All right, cool. So let's see. So I used the very first part of the sample. Let's see. So I took that part, 16 leveled it. Then I got some feedback from the aux core to do the bass line. 16 leveled that.
That's some sick bass.
Yeah. And I threw that part in. That was just like an extra percussion part. You can hear it on like the fourth sequence. It's in there, believe me. Yeah.
That's so sick. That's so sick. The slowing down of voice, that definitely adds to the vibe. That's fire.
Yeah.
That's dope. That was round 2, everybody. Ben Buck. All right, we gonna keep it moving. I'm just gonna choose from here on out. Fuck it. We in the building. Let's go. Let's hear from Mass Law.
That was my pick, though, Dama. Though I'm just want to throw that out there.
Perfect.
Shout out to Mass Law's
swerving
mom.
over to the UK, yeah.
Big up.
Got me up in the midnight hours. Let's get the connect right.
Get me.
Boom. Boom. All right. Let's see if you're hearing me. Yeah, you hearing me?
Yes, sir. Round 3, Mass Law. Let's get it.
Get some fire.
I was groomed to be Goliath. I wasn't groomed to be David. Even though I was small, I was the David guy because I'm smaller than everybody. But I was groomed to be Goliath because I'm so insecure. I was a monster because that's all I really knew.
There we go, man.
Wow.
It's my bit of fire.
That was sick. That was sick. Your use of the sample there was so, it made it a whole new song, man. That shit is dope. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your process there and why you chose what you chose? And
Well, you know, like you know, as we do, we go through the whole thing, we chop it up and everything. One thing I did notice when I played it back is somehow my bass has gone in a different key. So I'm kind of upset with myself right now because I can hear it, you know, but that's some fault of the machine. But anyway, we took the sample, we cut the iron mic part because that piece was serious, you know. Man said his ego made him a Goliath. You get me? He was made as a Goliath. That just means a lot to me. You weren't like on no David thing, the little man symptom. Man was a Goliath, you know. So I chopped that part out, took that. In the second part of the thing is the noise, I used it as a shaker in my setup. So that way you can hear the way that drops and so forth. So that got me gas there. And then also the other parts of it, you can hear where the drop came in. Because usually when I make beats, I try not to use samples. So when I use samples, I use it as something to accent the track instead of take over the track, you know? And that was my piece of fire from here, man.
yeah, I definitely heard that because I was listening for it. And when you hear it in that drop, it comes in very nice. That's what's up. Give it up for Mass Law, everybody. That's dope. All right, who we got next? They asking for Back Handerson in the comments. Let's get Back Handerson next. In the building. This is round 4. Let's get Storch, baby.
Because I didn't have the phantom power on. Nerd moment. Y'all can hear me though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Let's do it. And then y'all can see that. Let me sure.
You don't gotta share your screen, just share your sound.
Okay, cool. All right, and then zoom, just like Mazda. All right, here we go.
ayahuasca?
Yo, when I say they coming with it today, they coming with it today. Like, I feel bad for the judges and all that. It's crazy. It's crazy out here. Damn, that was fire. Jack, tell us a little bit about your process, man. And I like how you use the small little bits of samples and insert them over the larger bits of samples. Very nice. It cascades. It's really dope. Tell us a little bit about your process there, man.
Okay, so just for the sake of convenience, I am gonna share my screen on this one.
Jack gotta nerd out, man. Gotta show
All right, Matt, when you hit the bottom.
Okay, can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
Did you enable sound on the bottom when you shared it?
Oh, very quick. Oh boy. Shit.
You went rogue on me. All right, buddy. Reshare.
Reshare. Okay, stop share.
All right, now when you share
screen.
First screen that pops up at the very, very bottom, it says
share computer sound.
And do the optimized video for people that are on the phone.
Thank you so much. Okay, cool.
EO Zoom. We've been doing this for 2 months.
Amelia Lomsky skate Storch. Okay. Y'all can see my screen?
The whole government, bro. Wow. Yes.
Okay. So started off with this one. Whoops, or that's the end of the song. This one was the basic bass. So everything in Scarlet is the sample, just from the song. Violet for I don't even know what that one, but yeah, dialogue sample, Iron Mike, and then weird sound. This one over here, which I thought I made it white because white is weird, and that goes together. There we go. All right, so the main sample here. That one breakdown in the song. Just kind of did like a minor second thing on that. Started it off with basically like
minor second thing on that, ladies and gentlemen.
Started it off with the end of the song, but like super, like you see all the effects on here. Like I took out the low end and put like a phaser, reverb, quarter note on it. And so that has this nice little like kind of beginning of verse effect kind of. And then I took the bass and I turned it down an octave. There you see right there, 12 cents. Turn that down. And just made it crunchy as fuck to like fill it in. And then I took that reeling at the beginning of the track and I kind of sequenced it out and I found like a good BPM for it, which I found was like halfway through and does this as a loop. And then piano fill, delayed it out. And then you were mentioning that middle breakdown part where it's like, took that and turned it into kind of like a stabby reverb thing like this. And then what am I missing here? Oh, and then guitar, just reverbed it out. Did one of those. I think I got except for the weird sound, which of course is just sped up. And I kind of took a Tyler the Creator, like Yonkers approach. Did it like as a hi-hat. So then you get so you see this kind of broken down. I have it as a left-right pan. So gives this nice effect of a stereo. Oops. Or not. What's happening here? Well, for some reason it's being a dick to me.
But I definitely heard it in the beat, and that shit was flat.
And then I side chained that out to the kick and the snare to give it some clarity. So when it breaks down to, that kind of, is it like ayahuasca? This part right here, you get something like this.
Is it like ayahuasca?
And then I think the only thing I'm missing, for the chorus, I grabbed some of those vocals and then I did like do-wah, do-wah, wah for, here we go. This shit. So I grabbed that and kind of gave it like a chorus variation. And I think last but not least is Iron Mike pitched down into kind of like a chopped and screwed thing like this.
Takes you to another level.
It kind of gives you like this nice little break at the beginning.
Takes you to another level.
And that's pretty much it.
Yo, dope shit. Very dope. Love the process. You definitely use some interesting things in there. All right, that was round 4. Give it up for back Handerson. All right, who we got next? Put them in the comments.
Craig.
Craig, let's go. Dat Boy Craig, let's get it. Dat Boy Craig, and then V Dizzle, and then that's it. Bang.
Advance.
In the building, Dat Boy
Music
Craig.
For computer sound only. Share.
Sounding
All
like
right,
Rain
cool.
Man right now. Somebody's on the phone.
All right, here you go.
Who is it? I'll find
Can you explain? Call it frightening. It's a big awakening. Divine intervention. What
Wow. Wow. Whew, this week, man, they bringing it this, yo. I really do feel sorry for the judges, man. Wow, that was incredible. The change-ups was crazy. Those little drum breaks in the change-ups was crazy. And that little almost G-Unit outro with the keys was crazy. So can you tell us a little bit about your process and the parts that you used and why you did what you did?
Yeah, I'm on the wrong computer to give, isolated, but when I heard the sample, I immediately thought of two things. I thought of Just Blaze and I thought of Ice Cube. And I'm not sure if I fully captured what I was trying to capture, but West Coast music is real eerie, you know what I'm saying? And so I used those chanty sounds in there, chopped those chanty, like I think my sample is like just the chorus, like maybe a little bit chopped up. And then it goes down to that breakdown part, which I try to do, like Just Blaze always has a repeating sample, like what we do is wrong, shit like that. So I just use that over and over again. And then I added they have a breakdown where they have piano. So that just adds a little bit to that little part. And yeah, that's basically it. I try to make it eerie. I try to make it real heavy on the one, like West Coast music is. And I try to give a little bit of that Just Blaze energy. That's like an alien energy, but I try to give it a little bit of that. And yeah, that's what came out. And the mic, the weird sample hits on every kick. I don't know if you could hear it. And then Mike, I cut up the parts when he was talking about, it's like a rude awakening, or a big awakening, and a divine intervention. So, just from chopping that up, I got a spiritual vibe. So I try to, give it that chanty spiritual vibe. And that's why it came out that way.
Sick.
And shout out to Mass Law. Yeah, that walking bass line, that's what definitely I chopped first, because I knew I wanted that, because I'm a big fan of Kanye. He always uses walking bass lines. So I try to put that in there.
That was fire, dog.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that was really, really dope. Really interesting. I wish you could have played the samples, but I guess it's all good, because
you got to do your own research.
Yeah.
Craig's on that.
That was dope. That was really dope.
Revealing the magician's secrets. Craig.
Right. So, without further ado, last but not least, we got dizzle. The final round, round 6 of the EOB challenge. You know how to do the share thing?
Yeah, he got it. Right at the bottom. He's playing off of MP. Boom. Yo, everybody throw your socials in the chat.
I wasn't groomed to be David. Even though I was small, I was the David guy, because I'm smaller than everybody. But I was groomed to be Goliath because I'm so insecure. I was a monster because that's all I really knew. I was a monster. Goliath, I'm a killer. How could that be a monster?
What was that like?
That's all I wanted to be. I was a monster. I was a monster. That's all I wanted to be. I was a monster. That's all I wanted to be. I was a monster. That's all I wanted to be. That's all I wanted to be. I was a monster. I was a monster. That's all I wanted to be. I was a monster. That's all I wanted to be. I was a monster. That's all I wanted to be. But I was groomed to be Goliath because I'm so insecure. I was a monster. And that's all I wanted to be. I was a monster. I was a monster. And that's all I wanted to be. I was a monster. That's all I wanted to be. I was a monster. That's all I wanted to be. I was groomed to be Goliath. I wasn't groomed to be Goliath. I'm a killer. I was a monster. I was a monster. I was a monster. monster.
Yo, give it up for Pete Dizzle, man. You've never been in this Zoom before, but we've been doing this every week, and you just came in and definitely like held no bars. That beat is definitely a rapper's beat.
Thank you so much. I want to apologize. When I signed up for this battle, it was like a week ago, correct? And you sent us the sessions on Sunday. I had then started a new job at Tesla, so I'm working 12-hour shifts overnight, and I have two babies.
Wow.
So I didn't give myself time to make, change anything. I literally made the beat today. And
You don't gotta explain nothing, man, because if I ain't know that, I would think that you took your time with it. That shit is fire. Like
it's a little repetitive, so I didn't give myself time. So, but give me a second.
Oh, good. Yeah, tell us a little bit about your process there. That shit is very militant. That shit like keeps walking all the way through. So tell us a little bit about why you did that and your process.
Funny that you say that. I got up and I couldn't go back to sleep. The goal was today just to get up, give myself 2 hours and call it a day. But I got up this morning and got some chores done and started smoking. It was a wrap. I was up. So I was like, yo, this is a battle. So it has to be hard. And me being from the Bronx, even though I live on the West Coast now, I'm not trying to play games. I'm not. So what about that sample? And samples like that normally on the day, like, if I'm just making beats, those are samples that I love. I'll just make any type, I have beats like that all day. But I had to really dissect that shit and really find out what about that sample commands respect and commands attention, aside from Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is just a butter.
I was going to be Goliath. I wasn't going to be David.
That's a given. So with that being said, I just went ahead and just started chopping shit. And then with that sample there, and then this right here. Just making small militant chops that just, I could just go ahead and just flip on the spot, along with the beginning the sample with the clap.
I loved your use of that.
Yeah, so I fucks with Chance a lot, but since this is a battle, you can't complain. They give you the meats and potatoes. You got to make a meal. So with that, I wanted that to have some sort of respect because that's early in the sample, and I knew I didn't know if people was going to pay attention to that, because again, with the sample, people's going to be I want the chitlins, I want the bones, I want the skin of the potato, I want all the nasty shit people don't want, so I can make good shit out of it. So I wanted that to be its own staple. And then with the kicks really, the drums just fell together. It was almost too easy. That's what I wanted to do. And then really, this is why I was a little upset, because towards the end, where I drop it off, or no, this part here actually, where it's I wish I had more time because I really wanted to get nasty, and even with the sample dropping, just the chant rolling, I wanted the beat originally to sound something like this. Sorry, the end. This was a good idea, but I didn't want the beat just to rely on that, so I went ahead and went militant and just saved the party shit for the end and called it a day.
That's dope. Very dope usage of the sample. That being said, that concludes the EO Beat Challenge Week 4. Give it up for yourselves. That was fire. Everybody came with it. The heat is on. I know the judges is feeling the pressure. Whenever y'all are ready, we can start with the judging portion of it and send whoever got to go to round 2. And this is really dope. I'm proud of all of y'all. Thank y'all for participating, especially people that haven't participated in this before and haven't even been here before. It's dope. All right, so let's get it. Let's start with Dizzy. Dizzy judged the first week. Dizzy sends us back to judge again in week 4. Dizzy's a producer, amazing, phenomenal rapper, artist, all around talent.
Okay. So to start from Steve Almighty. Steve Almighty was first, right? So Steve, I gave a 16.5. I don't know why I did the half this week. It just happened that way. That's just how I was feeling, I guess. But I'll start with presentation. Presentation, I gave him a 4. I felt like he came through with the sneaky samples. Like, I love the video game vibes that kind of came from it. That also played into the creativity for me, where I gave him a 5. Like, it gave me straight Super Mario vibes, straight video game loading screen. So the song ability behind that was also a 4. Just because I couldn't really get out of that video game realm. Like, I couldn't see it really in many other places, and it was limited. But then, like, when it came down to the bop, I gave him a 3.5. I felt like certain drops that came with that beat, it took me out of it. And then there was also certain times where I wish the drums went a little harder. Like, it was missing that knock for me. Like, just for me to stay in it and go crazy with the face. So it was missing that for me. So altogether it was a 16.5. Next was Ben Buck, I think it was after that. Yeah, it was Ben Buck. Ben Buck, I gave a 14. The crazy thing about Ben Buck was that it was crazy because I could hear that his beat had that slap to it. But because he decided to go the live route and like the whole analog and being hands-on with it, it kind of killed him in this format. Because for me, while I was watching his beat being played, it was glitching. I couldn't hear it at certain points. So it kind of like, I couldn't really give a 5 anywhere for that. And that kind of hurt for me. Presentation wise, I gave him a 3. I felt like the connectivity issues was a big issue for me, because I couldn't enjoy the beat the way that it should have been enjoyed, and that kind of sucked. But I loved the beatboxing, and I love the fact that he came through with the live format. I just wish it was a little cleaner. I felt creativity wise, it was a 4. It was very creative. I like the pitching that was done with the sample and the slowing down of the Mike Tyson sample. I thought that was very ill. Song ability, I gave it a 4. It probably would have been a 5 if I could have got the full effect of the slap. And then like the bop, as I said, like the format was just, since it was delivered how it was delivered, it came in at a 3. Even though I knew it could slap, I couldn't really experience said slap. So altogether, that was said slap. Like, I was looking for a bitch slap, and I got like regular slap, and it kind of hurt. But I fucked with the beat. I just wish I could hear it better. So I gave him a 14. Next was Mass Law. Mass Law, I gave a 19.5. Mass Law was, your beat was insane. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. It was very unexpected. Like, presentation was a 5. The structure was clear. I could tell where the intro was. I could tell where the verse was gonna go. I could tell if it was a bridge that was gonna be there, if it was a hook. All the transitions led to that, which went with a 5 with creativity. The way the samples were flipped were incredible. The drops was crazy. The transitional elements was there. Song ability was a 5. The beat was undeniable. You could hear many different artists on it. It gave me R&B feels, but I still felt like it could get a feature from a rapper. Like, I could see those things automatically. Only thing that like was a little bit off for me was when it came to the bop. I gave it a 4.5. And it wasn't even because there was anything really wrong with the beat. I just wish that there was more emphasis to the bass line, because I know in UK grime, like the bass is really important, and the bass, I wish in some of the transitional parts that the bass line was a little bit stronger. So altogether, that was a 19.5. I feel like for next was back Handerson. I gave back a 18. I felt it was a 5 with presentation. The sample was masked very well. The beat was very abstract. I loved the transitions that was going on there. It was a great use of samples. It made me forget about the initial sample at first, and the intro was very intricate and super climatic for sure. Like it had that anticipation to it. So it gave me 5 for presentation and 5 for creativity as well. Songability was a 4. I definitely felt that it had great songability, but there was some times where I was questioning if there was space for an artist. Where that was like one of the only critiques I kind of had. And then 4 for a bop, because I wish that there was more space for the instruments in the mix, which probably is just like an engineering nitpick, but I just wish that there was space. There was some times where there was a lot of muddiness, and that the instruments didn't really have their own place in the beats. So that's for back. 5th was Craig. It was Dat Boy Craig. I gave Craig a 20 straight through. It was a 5 in every single category. I felt that, and I will break down why. I felt the intro reeled everybody in as a whole. I was looking at it for myself at first, and then I had to look to see what was going on in the Zoom. There was a point where somebody actually put a lighter up and like was saying it was fire. I think it was dizzle, not even sure, but everybody, it shook the Zoom. You feel what I'm saying? Like it really shook the Zoom. So I felt that intro reeled us in. Then when the beat dropped, it was so unexpected. And at first, like when I first heard the beat drop, I was like, oh damn, it could knock more than that. And as soon as I was saying like, yo, it could knock a little bit more, he brought me another transition where the drums was knocking more. Like anything I could possibly ask for more of in my head, it came as I listened to the beat further and further. The transitions was unexpected. They flowed together effortlessly. I could hear various artists on there. It was crazy that he said he was looking for a Just Blaze type of sound, because that's actually in my notes. It gave me A-Rap Music, Heatmaker's Just Blaze vibes. I could definitely see it as played in a cypher easily. And it definitely had the bop. I felt like everybody knew it had the bop. Everybody was highlighted, and you can see it on the faces. People was making faces. It was crazy. Like that's a 5 across the board. So I gave Craig a straight 20. Craig, you did a good job. Good job, my boy. All right, now last is dizzle. And dizzle, I gave a 17. Presentation, I gave a 4. I felt that much like Craig's, the intro reeled me in. I just wish that the drums knocked a little bit more. Structure-wise, I felt your breakdowns were excellent. Like they were super awesome. And creativity, I gave you a 4. But much like dizzle said himself, I felt as though the sample had become monotonous, is literally the first thing in my notes. Like I feel like the sample became monotonous, even though there was drum samples that were knocking hard. Like it gave me Jay-Z and Kanye vibes when they did like Otis. That's like one of the first things that kind of came into my mind. I could easily see this being played in commercials too. You know what I'm saying? And it immediately grabs the attention of anybody listening to it. It's definitely a rapper beat as well. That's also in my notes. And it's crazy. These are the things that was said as I was writing these things. So I gave him a 4 in presentation, 4 in creativity, 5 definitely Jay-Z and Kanye feels, and a 4 just because I wish there was more sample flips. I wish that this sample wasn't as monotonous. So altogether, my top two was Craig, Dat Boy Craig with a 20, and Mass Law with a 19.5 for sure.
Yo, that's some quality judging. Everybody in the comments is commenting on your judging, and let me tell you something. That Dizzy is an amazing judge, and half the fun of EOB challenge is the judge feedback, because it's so careful and so dope and so constructive, and like I learned so much just by listening. So next, let's go to Soze.
All right, let me first say, yo, great work by everybody. Everybody really did their thing, and on top of that, everybody used the vocal samples and the weird noises really good. So I'm gonna start off with Steve. Steve, I gave a 4 for presentation, a 4 for creativity, a 3 for song, 4.5 for bop. So 15.5. He dope flip with the beep sound and the way you played it across. That was across the whole pattern was great. The drums was hard, very trippy. Definitely, what Dizzy said, I could picture myself playing a video game and just getting smoked out to that shit. Definitely. And let me go with, so you got a 15.5, Steve. Nice work. Ben Buck, 4 for presentation, 4 for creativity, 4 across the board pretty much, and for a 16. So little notes I got was really dope chops. I love the beatbox. It took away, like Dizzy said, it took away from you doing that. I could wish you send the beat to maybe Dama beforehand. That would be better. It could really showcase it. And I would love to chill with you while you just chop shit, because your chops are really dope. I would love to chill and just smoke with you and just listen to your chops, because they're really dope. Let me see. Next is Mass Law. Mass Law, phenomenal all over the board. Pretty much I gave you just a little shy, 18.5 total. I gave you 5 for presentation, 4.5 for creativity, 4.5 for song, 4.5 for bop. The intro was amazing. I love the way you play out everything and use the sample slightly. The drops are great. And one thing I could say, you turn chaos into organized sound. You're organized. The way you took all of those sounds and put them together was really dope. So pretty much you got an 18.5. Who's next? Backhand. The dope chops. I like the short chops. The way you cut short chops, I love that. The bop with the door stopper. The door stopper, the way you made the bop with the door stopper was amazing. That shit was genius, and I love the bass line. And let me go to your scores. I gave you a 4.5 on presentation, 4 on creativity, 3.5 on song, and 4 on bop, which is a 16. Next is Craig. Craig, you got a perfect score for me. What else can I say? I think we was all rocking out to that. The way you did the bass line was amazing. The ooze and the sample, the damn drum breaks, the change ups. Shit caught me off guard in the beginning. I was kind of like, all right, where's he gonna go with this? And then when you brought it in, I was like, damn. So, and the keystrokes at the end, fuck, amazing. It definitely gave me a Just Blaze feel. I love the fucking drum rolls. You got a perfect 20 for me. V-Dot, you got a 17 for me. I love the monster. It was so monstrous. It was definitely had a march to it and definitely had a stomp to it. The drums are hard as hell. So you got a 4 for presentation, a 4 for creativity, a 4.5 for song ability, 4.5 for bop, which got you at a 17. So for my top 2, I got Mass Law and Craig. And Mass Law, I really love the Galaxy shit, the Galaxy face, the green screen shit. It's really dope. But yo, all of y'all did amazing work, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all again.
Dope. Amazing feedback, Soze. Amazing feedback as always, man. Soze is an amazing producer, produced a lot of records that you may or may not know that he's on, but he definitely produced at least half my catalog. So let's move on to Flaco Bio, aka Dutch Vega, music connoisseur, and just legend, man. Legend. Let's get it.
What up, yo? Just one correction. It's Flaco Bayo.
Bayo.
Bayo. You know what I mean?
My bad.
Nah, all good. I don't really have the intricate breakdown that all the other judges got and shit. I just don't have that. I could just say what I thought during each producer's track. And so Steve Almighty, his was messed up a little bit, but it had a bop to it. Like, I couldn't really hear it clearly though. The first 2 beats, I just couldn't hear very clearly at all. Ben Buck, same thing, sounded dope, but I couldn't hear it. Sounded too muddled, like I was listening to Underwater or something like that. Mass Law, it was not what I expected. I expected like something else, I guess. I didn't go into any beat with any expectations, but I guess him being in UK, like I was really expecting some like grime or, you know what I mean, some drum and bass, which I mean, I guess it kind of was, but the point is, it's not what I expected. Then he said, wait for it, and the beat dropped, and that was dope, and that was cool, but a little bit further past that, it switched up again, and that's where the heat was. That's where the heat was right there. Then back Handerson, it was dope, different, but very dope. And it definitely had a Yonkers feel to it. Like, I definitely was thinking that to myself. So when he said that he went for that feel, I was like, okay, cool. So I was right about that. And then right after that, I wrote down, I was like, so far it's been real dope, but also pretty eccentric. You know what I mean? Which is dope. That's why I really don't got like a song ability like thing. Cause like sometimes like as an artist, like you'll get caught up in what you think like a song maybe should sound like, or what it, you know, who could potentially make it sound like what. And like, you also just don't see all the other, you know what I mean, stream and spectrum. You know, I'm a rapper, so I'm looking at things from a rapper's perspective most times. Like, I'm not a guitarist, I'm not a pianist, I'm not, you know what I mean? So it's just like, so really like I can't like testify to any of that. All I can testify to is how much it knocks for me as a rapper that likes wavy ass shit. And so everything was dope though, because I also like eccentric shit. Like, I have a pretty wide palette, so like everything before the last 2 guys was really dope, but I did feel like the last 2 guys was like, it took it to another level. And Dat Boy Craig, I have written down like, ooh, when it hits that 3rd switch up, bro, that shit was like, whew, Jesus Christ, that was like hitting 5th gear, son. Like when you in the whip and you just like, you know what, sorry. And it's just like that beat was, it was fire each point, but that 3rd transition was just like, whoa. And then V-Dot was just, bruh, like I thought Craig, like once Craig won, went like in my head, I'm just like, you know, honest asshole and shit. It's just like, I was like, well, this is all over now, you know? But and then V-Dot went and I was like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ. That's a fucking monster, dog. Like, that was in my head, I was like, that's a 10. That's a 10 right there. And that fucking whoa, like that fucking whoa was just hitting, son. Jesus Christ. And that's the way you fucking make a banger. Like as a rapper, and like just like me, like to me, I think that the best compliment I could give a producer is like when I hear a beat is, yo, how much? Because I'm really willing to come out my pocket and spend my money on a track that's really fucking a banger. You know what I mean? That I'm like, that's what I want to spend my money on. Like that right there. And between Craig and V-Dot, I would have spent my money. I'll spend my money on either of those 2 tracks right there. Like I'd be like, yo, I'll buy that right now. Just because I know I'll make a banger to that. Like, what, dog?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I got. I don't got numbers for people. Sorry. I'm sorry if I'm breaking the rules. You know what I mean? I'm a fucking rule breaker.
Come on, Dutch. I already know, bro. Plus, yo, I gotta say, Dutch came in last minute in the last 2 weeks to be a judge, to replace a judge that he's supposed to judge next week. He came in on the clutch last minute every time. Like, I got you. Like, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely appreciate it. And that was dope feedback. So your top 2 is Dat Boy Craig and V Dizzle.
Yeah, I was also, you know what, like, I just want to include to everybody is that, like, again, like, take it with a grain of salt, you know what I mean? Because, like, that's just my taste. And, like, art is really subjective. And, like, everything that I heard sounded like something that could be, like, probably, like, some amazing shit. It's just, like, for me, I can't hear it. You know what I mean? But, yeah, V-Dot and Dat Boy Craig are the two for me.
Are you able to give one over the other, so that since you didn't have a score?
Damn, they're both 10s, man. They're both 10s. If I'm gonna edge it out, I'm gonna edge it out to V-Dot probably.
Well, all right. That's sick. That's sick.
Let me
That's
piggyback
dope.
off what Dutch said about like everything eccentric. Everything was mad trippy, especially the way Ollie used Mike Tyson's voice. Is very similar how Ollie used it into a trippy type thing. You know what I'm saying? So that was really dope too. I definitely agree with him on that. Very trippy, everybody.
I like to thank Nunzio for the 7 hi-hat tip too that he gave last. That definitely helped me a lot.
Yo, that's what's up. Could I just say that dizzle, that's exactly what you were missing from the track. And you haven't been around, so I'm going to just tell you again, like the beat you got is super duper duper fire hot. And even though you didn't switch it up, if you'd have done the hats thing, that like 5 to 7 different hats, and you'll figure it out what I'm telling you, that would have made the rhythm enough.
Yeah, I got
carry that whole thing through.
I definitely agree with that. I was thinking that as I was listening to the beat, but with the short amount of time that you did the beat, it was pretty outstanding.
Yo, like I said, that's definitely a rapper's beat because it definitely like had me feeling like coming up with bars right in that moment. And you know, that's one of those kind of like it's like simple, it don't need too much, you know what I'm saying? But in the spirit of this competition where you know the change-ups are crazy, and you know you're always welcome to come back any week and do this again, you know what I'm saying? But so far 2 out of 3 judges have had their top 2 be Craig, Dat Boy Craig, and Mass Law. So Mass Law and Dat Boy Craig, y'all are going to the second round. So I just sent y'all the 4th sample. That's the secret sample that you got to incorporate into this new beat that you're flipping. And your BPM range is 85 to 95. And you have a half an hour to come up with that beat. Let me play y'all that the sample. So last week it was the SpongeBob SquarePants intro. So I figured I stay in the spirit of something like that, or like something well known, and it's this. Wait, hold up. Let me share my.
Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show. Oh! Woo-hoo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Yeah, yeah. Let's start the show.
Best show of all time.
Yep, and I was reading a lot about Dave Chappelle this week too, and I just figured why not? This will be really dope. Yeah, so y'all go on and y'all got 30 minutes, so that's 7:52 Eastern time. I think that's like 1 something over there in the UK. That's crazy. We got a cross-continental one-on-one beat battle between Mass and Dat Boy Craig. All right.
Yo, Dama, that Chappelle show is the 4th secret sample.
The sample's longer?
What's the tempo?
Yeah. The tempo range is 85 to 95.
Yo, amazing work, everybody. And just the scores are just going by everybody else. So all of y'all had dope beats, and I'm really impressed with this week. So congratulations to all of y'all. Y'all all really did good.
Yeah, that was definitely dope. Does anybody have a second backup beat that they made that they want to play? Usually our streak has been that whenever people play their little backup beat, it ends up being some Fuego Diego that we definitely didn't expect. So if you want to keep, Nick got a
play anything.
I don't have backups, but I got fire. Finished fire, for that matter. Do y'all want me to play? I don't just going on play anything. Whatever you want to.
Hold up, let Craig stop sharing the computer sound from the other computer, and then you can share your sound. Hold up.
All right, you can share your sound now. Mass, I got you right now.
Once again, we in the EO Beat Challenge, week 4. Whew, it's been a crazy one, as per usual. Judging is amazing. Thank you, all the judges. Crazy. Dizzy, I'm definitely sending you my album to review.
Here's some.
Let's get it.
Send that.
Kind of want to keep it the same vibe I had it. So some more boom bap for y'all. A lot of this is inspired from the Bronx, growing up in shelters and shit, the foster kids from the BX in Harlem.
Yo, also.
Yo, I gotta tell you honestly, in my opinion, man, your beats, both of the ones that I've heard, which I'm sure is just a glimpse into your range, have so much song ability. You know, it's like an instantaneous, like you hear a song to it. Like when Dizzy was talking about Jay-Z, I was just outside telling Craig, I was hearing like takeover vibes on that other one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the one that the rapper picks to be like that album cut that you know what I'm saying, like comes through and just cuts their neck real quick where you just go in, you know? Yeah, so and that one was really dope too. That one was really dope. It's like usually when we hear the second one, I don't know how y'all felt because that was definitely dope. But usually when we hear it, we're like, damn, you should have went with this one. I'm like, you could have went either way, honestly.
They both of the beats gave me Jay-Z vibes though. Both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, facts.
Dope.
That one sounded closer to Black Republican, but it was definitely real storyteller vibes for that.
Word.
Yeah, that like Back Handerson said that the drum roll at the end was fucking genius. That shit is really dope.
Yeah, and the way it changed up like towards the end of the second verse, that was really dope.
I love the Soldier March field. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That was
dope. You got the B side of the album, you know, of the single. but it overpowers the actual single that they're putting out. Everybody plays the B-side over the actual.
Oh, the B-side record of whatever happens with the EO Beats challenge week after week, the B-side record album is always fire. Like, we don't have no, like, even close to mediocre B-side records. Like, that shit, the B-side records are crazy. Are crazy. And that's because people go in here, I mean, apparently after asking a few contestants, they go in here with the mentality of, let me play my not so strong one first, and then I'm gonna hit him with this one at the end to take it. But you gotta remember, play the strongest one first.
Yeah, that's some
Because,
white racist
trust me, you're
bullshit.
going
Come on.
against some killers. Like, it's crazy.
And real quick, Dama, could you or somebody drop the link for the Google Drive to drop the shit into?
I got you.
I forgot to drop in last week's one, which I actually spent some more time on.
I got you. I'm gonna put it in the group chat. Word.
Cool.
But
Thank you.
Steve Almighty said he got a backup beat to play. Let's hear from him real quick.
Hold up, you know what? Because I thought this beat broke the rules. Because the email was very explicit about no loops. Don't come in here playing loops. And so I was like, oh shit. So
Yeah, the no loops thing is basically what we try to do with that is basically like, don't try to take a whole chunk of it and just loop it and be lazy with it. But if you made some fire with it, you could always.
So, well, anyways, I'm glad there's like a B-side time, because I was just saying in the chat, the hottest sample to me was the bells, like whatever was playing in the background of the Mike Tyson sample. There was like scoring him talking about licking the toad, and it was just like so dark. And I was like, oh, if you just loop.
Oh, you could have used that.
I thought about that too.
All right, so
I
here we
thought that
go.
might have been like
That.
cheating a little bit to use the
Well, either way,
yeah, like the
here's the
music of
B-side.
it, because I feel like there's like the music sample, there's the voice sample, there's the weird noise. But yeah, I thought about that too, like grabbing that and doing some weird like phaser beat repeat shit with like, you know, like with all that weird shit when he's talking about the toad.
Yo,
Yeah,
just do it.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
long
I'm gonna
as
just.
you-
So all it is drums and that sample. But either way, I feel like I just put the drums in right now when I was thinking about the sample. So here we go.
Fucking sick.
That's all.
Yo, that's dope. That's dope. Dizzy said Griselda vibes. Yo, definitely fire. That's definitely one you could have played first. That's definitely a sick fucking front runner. But like I said, the B-sides beats are always fucking fire. That was sick, grimy, dark, definitely dope. Definitely dope.
Yeah,
Is
that's
it-
fire.
Is it breaking the rules to show y'all my more developed version of last week's beat?
Nah, feel free.
Or is
Guys-
that hijacking it?
Nah, that's what's up. I'm into
All right,
that.
cool. One sec.
You guys with the drum rolls, man. Fucking killing it with the drum rolls.
The drum roll is always nice. Always a nice touch. For sure.
Yeah, I'm so-
Feel free to come back again, man. Look, Back Handerson came through. First of all, he came through and did his thing the first time, but he came through with the Back Handerson the second time, like came out swinging.
Yeah, because I spent more than fucking like 2.5 hours on it.
See, exactly. So you always feel
Yeah.
free to come back and take it. You know.
I was gonna say I would love. I'm probably never gonna win this because I'm like a producer's producer, and that's what everyone was kind of saying is that like need more space for like the rap ability, and I'm just one of those people
That
where
song
like,
ability, man.
well, where I like listen to a beat and I'm like, oh, I like listening to this. Whereas like I'm sure that like a lot of like y'all or like people you work with, like they've already, you know, they're kind of like whispering like the flow like they have in their mind like over it. I'm not a rapper. You know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
never been one. I never wanted to be one. And so like I'm like just kind of going like the trip hop approach is like what sounds good to me, like on MP3.
Right. It's like that. Like you could DJ this and just play.
Yeah, exactly. Like no one has to do a cipher over it, but I need to. That's like probably like the best criticism I've gotten. I feel like. All right, I'm gonna share my screen real quick because yeah, it's like
That's
this is
dope,
last
Jack.
week's, but like a little bit cleaned up, and a little bit more structured out. So one sec, share screen. All right. And then I guess I'll hop in the chat. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
That was dope. That was dope. And that was from the Monophonics, who, if y'all missed it, Kelly Finnegan from the Monophonics was just here right before the Beat Challenge talking to us about sample clearance and the proper way to do things. And hopefully he'll be back again soon to talk about it some more, because it's such interesting information that all of us here as rappers, producers, any type of music creators that all really need to be so knowledgeable about how we do the things we do, about publishing, about masters, about owning your own shit and being able to, you know, really get your paper and do this thing the right way. So that was dope. That was dope, Jack. And I'm glad you went back and, you know, fuck with it a little bit more and spiced it up even more. The one you came up with today, man, I'm telling you, you came out swinging. Like
Thank you.
your usage of everything, and you know, it makes me really proud that everybody did their thing with these samples. And
Yeah, I mean, this week was hard. Like the just between how much like backing, you know, music stuff was going on and like weird sound effects and stuff within like the Mike Tyson thing. The fact that it was, you know, 2 speakers, not like the Mr. Wordsworth thing where it was just like an old school film thing, no soundtrack, just 1 speaker. The weird sound was a little bit easier for me, you know, because like right away I heard that Yonkers like in my head, you know. I was like, I'm just gonna turn that into a fucking like, you know, hi-hat kind of just tempo thing. And then yeah, like I thought you were trolling me with like the original sample for like the first 30 seconds. I was like, this is already a hip-hop beat. The fuck is this? And then it turned into the real song. I was like, fuck you, Tama.
yep. Yep. That's exactly what I'm looking for when I send out these samples, because
It was hard. It was hard. So that was great.
and
I mean,
we wanted
super
to kinda,
challenging.
our first 3 weeks, we focused very much on very soulful samples that had horns and serious change ups and very powerful musicality. And I was like, let me kind of switch it up this week from that and see what people could do with something more like this. That's just like, what the fuck even is this, really? You know what I'm saying? But it sounds good, and there's good sounds in it, because I'm a producer too, so I hear like there's a lot of things you can do if you get creative, you know. So yeah, let's
That's like a finished track, and it's like already like super well produced and like already has its own dynamic. So like it's almost like a bait and switch where it's like, I wonder who's gonna do something with the birder, birder, birder. You know what I mean? And like everyone did, sure enough, like that isolated part, everyone did their own like cool thing with that. So I commend you on that sample choice.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Next week is gonna be crazy. I don't know who we're sampling next week, but actually I've been talking to this what's his name? Michael Marshall. I met him out here in Austin because he knows my peoples from the Bay Area, and he's the one that sang "I Got 5 on It," and I saw him perform live, and he's amazing. His voice is amazing. So I hit him up to come in here. I don't know if he came in here today, but I sent him the link. But I definitely want to sample him and have him come in as a judge as well, because you know, it's always dope when you got the person you're sampling, and he is like all about hip hop. Like, he's a singer, and he really is on some get in where you fit in. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to do hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's beautiful. His voice is amazing. So I'm looking forward to doing something like that. Let's hear from the people, man. Who we got out here? Zoo, you want to say something? Were you listening to the challenge? You got something to add?
I think Zoo dipped out, Dama.
Nah, I'm in here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah.
I had to shut my audio. Yeah. First of all, I was here for the first show. I had a call at 7 with my family, but I was here for the show with your mans, and I was really digging that whole wave. I hope people really was taking notes or doing the knowledge. And sometimes it's not just learning something new. Some of what he shared was confirmation of what we already know. It just builds, you know, your capacity. And then secondly, I joined after most of the beats. I joined when Dizzy was judging, doing her freaking like 9th degree black belt judging shit. You know what I'm saying? That you mentioned it tonight, but that's another feature of this show. I don't know. I mean, they think beat challenge, they think beat battle, but the judging is like a whole nother layer to the show, because you've chosen people who give thoughtful responses. You know what I'm saying? So that adds to the wave. So that's all.
You have been one of our judges, and we talk about it when we talk about this show as you being one of the best judges that we had. So coming from you, that's a high compliment, because you really did your thing on that judging as well.
You're the godfather of judging.
I love that. Yeah, everybody like, yo, it's.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back to that.
The
too.
judging gets its own score. Like, it's crazy.
It is like its own different wave. And I also see our different lenses. You know, the first week I saw how Mecca was more industry minded and was definitely looking for more song ability. And I also respect this last dude. Pardon me, I'm forgetting your man's name. Your man who just was talking, who said he gets his wave on he's not even thinking about MCs. He's just thinking about like a trip hop beat that he could like zone out.
Yeah, Handerson, yeah.
We need to hear, like, you need to hear that stuff from Mecca, and Mecca needs to hear that stuff from you. You know what I'm saying? This cross conversation needs to happen, because you could benefit from cooking some of your records to make them more song ability, if you will. And Mecca could also benefit from hearing the structures that you guys provide when you're just doing your own thing. So
that would be incredible. I would love that.
Yeah, it's a fact. Yo, but that's me tonight, Dama. Salute.
Yo, that's dope. Salute, Zoo. Also, Jack Anderson, man, for those of y'all who don't know, he works for KUTX, which is a radio station out here.
Oh, look, it's laundry day. Look at the shirt I'm wearing.
That's the KUTX shirt. He's had me and Craig. He does the most amazing write-ups. Like, he's not a rapper, but he's definitely a writer. Like, he does the most amazing write-ups on the music that we've been putting out here. So we've been talking about, you know what I'm saying, maybe getting some kind of article going or something about this, you know.
I also just dropped my email in the chat for anybody who wants to email me for a song of the day consideration.
Word, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. We appreciate that, man. The whole EOW appreciates that, man. That's definitely dope. Fucking, yo, I love this. I love y'all, man. This is so dope. All the producers have been just amazing. The feedback that we've been getting, this is just such amazing content, man. Angel, where you at, man? You want to add something? I haven't heard from you yet. And Nunzio too, because I've been hearing you a little bit, but I know you got some more things to say.
Yo, I'm in the back of the house now. I mean, like, I'm just trying to facilitate things. I'm just here enjoying myself. I'm glad I'm not a judge, because a lot of you guys have really, the returning people too that have perfected the system. It's like watching a challenge or being part of a challenge, and then the next MC challenge you get in, like, you're like coming through with like gunning. And like, the thing is, like, too, like, back Handerson, like, I really feel like song ability is preferential. Yes, there's industry songs. Yes, there's songs that are like, you know, boom bap, straight hip hop. But like, I'm the one that listens to you. I'm that guy that fucks with you. When everybody's like, oh, this beat's a little strange, I'm like, alien, I'm here. So like I'm here for the shit. You speak an alien language, you chop the shit out of stuff. You actually take sounds and make new sounds. And I see what you do with it. I'm not a producer and you know what I mean, engineer, but it's like it's something I can't really like vocalize as well as Dizzy because Dizzy's way cooler. And Dizzy.
Well, no, I get what you mean though, because like I never really had like that much experience with like doing ciphers or anything like that where it's
Right.
just beat on loop. And so like when I do a beat and it's just like, you know, the 4/8 bars, I rarely expand past that. Whereas
Right,
something
and
like,
it's
you know what I
a
mean? Whereas something like this, I
repetitive,
wanted to make a 3-minute track. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Something
No,
where I can listen to, and again, I can hear Tyler's verse from Yonkers in my head over the beat, but I'm not a rapper. You know what I mean? I can't invent a flow over it, you know, like even in my head. It's like like that's the best I can do. You know what I mean?
That's the beauty of the collaboration between rapper and producer, or songwriter, singer and producer, or songwriter, rapper and producer.
100%.
Because it takes so much to make a song. I listen to a lot of reference tracks of like R&B songwriters that wrote songs, like Jonta Austin, after I seen that versus battle, and like listening to the reference tracks of these famous, amazing songs is so incredible, because you're like, wow, this is a great song. But when you hear the finished version, it's like, wow, it took it to another level. So when I work with producers, as far as like rapping or singing or anything, I like to work from the middle, like not when you have the finished beat, but when you got like a halfway finished beat, so I could add vocals to it, and you know how to work around. You know what I'm saying? So I could give you
I do.
like the whole structure of it, so the producer could work around that, and that's how
So
I
this
like
is perfect, and I love. I'm sorry to cut you off. I
It's
love
all
that
good.
you're saying this because I'm working on my next full length, but like it's like my tentative like release schedule for at least like the first single is Halloween. So we have time to work on this, but like I want to work with you and Craig like on some like basically where I'm running the production, but like y'all come over to my place into my studio and like just track some verses. Like basically the whole thing is just going to be guest vocals. So that'll
Okay.
probably be like a great learning
I'm
experience.
with that. I'm always down for the
Yes,
collab,
yeah.
especially after hearing your beats in this challenge. You know what I'm saying? Because
Totally.
I really like. I've heard you play music before. I know you play the trumpet, and I've heard some of your music, but I like hearing you in this kind of facility and hearing what you can do with a short amount of time with a sample that's picked out for you and stuff like that, and the direction in which you went to try to even cater to hip hop audience as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope. It's dope. I'm definitely with
We're gonna get together. Don't worry. You'll
Facts.
get a text message.
Facts. I got you, man. I got you. All right. Who Nunzio? I know you got some things to say, man. Let's talk about it. This is amazing.
Yeah. So first of all, everybody was super dope. It went, you know, we always get different directions that people go in. And I really think that this one was a great example of it. For back end Handerson, I'm gonna say this: like your beats are phenomenal, and I see it from a different view because I engineer too. So when I'm looking at your screen and I'm seeing all of the stuff you did, the phaser and all, and then the echo on everything, I feel where you're coming from. That's the technical part of it. What you need to do is delve into the more the heart of it, like the
Yeah,
feel
just
that you get.
like allowing the groove to like let people do.
Well,
their
that's what I was
go
gonna
through it.
say.
Yeah,
So
totally.
I call it the swing. You know what
Sure,
I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
So like the last beat that you played, the swing is in the chorus. It's not the typical drum pattern. The loop is doing its thing, and you just add on enough to carry it through. Whereas when you get to the verse part, it was very technical drum wise. So all I would say is just mess with the drums a little bit, man. You don't always have to do a specific pattern. Take some stuff out, mess with it a little bit, and that's
exactly
part of the 5 to 7 hatch trick that Craig used tonight, which I'm so happy to hear. And he pulled that shit off amazingly. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, thanks for that feedback. Thank you.
yeah, because that's the other thing with Craig's beat. I couldn't even catch the pattern of it it's because he used those hats. And once he said it to me, I was like, I should have freaking known that. But You're not supposed to know it when you do it. You understand? Which is the
totally. Thank you.
True story, as like producers that, you know, aren't artists that are singing or rapping, we're just one extra instrument on your track. You play horns, I'm just adding one more little piece on top.
Facts,
So
facts.
like that's it. I'm not. I mean, I got some words, but
And I think what it is that like I've got that hermit status, and I'm not like a bedroom producer who also raps. You know what I mean? I'm literally just, you know, I'm in my studio and like I have like one friend who like comes by, and he's not even like a freestyle person. Like he's always like with his book, which I'm not shitting on that style. Like I love when people like spend time in writing like stuff, but I guess what I just need.
Different when you could come up with shit on the spot. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, is that I just feel like I just want like, and that's what I was saying about like you and you know Craig, Dama, like just like
That's why you got to stay tuned.
I have a Rolodex full of like 50 Austin rappers who are also my friends. So like I just, now that I've got the studio set up finally, as you can maybe see, question mark.
Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have more people over.
Also, just lastly for you producers, now we're gonna go into the industry advice for Mecca. Then we're gonna go into EODUB, which is a tight hour of freestyling streamed live. But there's something that happens late at night after EODUB.
Yo.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Gotta be
We
here.
don't talk about that part. Skate Storch still recovering from that part. But that's definitely a dope time for producers to tune in as well and hear rappers. And if you hear rappers that you think would sound fly in your shit, that's who you connect with. You know what I'm saying? We all in here, we all family, and anybody.
Well, like everybody's got like a home setup, so like,
right.
What's the worst that could happen?
And we in quarantine, man.
File. Angel's saying no. She's not me. She's in her kitchen.
She's so good. Angel got the headphones with the mic, man. She's good. She good. She been
Yeah,
taking
but
care of
totally. No, I
herself
mean,
and
I just need to like. I think that's like another thing too, is that not to like get on like a super personal level or whatever, but like I've been taking antidepressants and stuff like that, and it's been really, really good for my self-esteem. And so I think just I've been producing beats for like over 10 years, and I think like I finally just like, what's the worst that could happen? Someone says no, okay, fuck it, I'll just
right.
You know.
That's incredible. Thank you for sharing that with us, man. And I'm so glad that this platform, you know, because Soze originally hit me up to do this, and he thought he was like on some like one-off, like let's do a one-off. But I also know Soze, and I know all my friends that are producers honestly go through a lot of the same things where it's like you go through periods of time where you don't even feel like creating, you know? So if your friends come up to you with like, yo, there's a fucking cool thing, here's a chance for you to create and get in this and be a part of this and whatever. And it's not like some American Idol shit where like the judges are like, you're trash, get the fuck out of here. Like even
it's
like
honestly
we
the
haven't
worst
heard
thing
no.
I've ever heard.
Yo,
Yeah, I think I got a funny feeling that like you guys were like hoping that I would be that guy, which I kind of like tend to be. Like, you know, all of my friends that know me know that I'm like an asshole, and I have no problem with being wild me.
Well, that was a mad good in-depth judging, by the way, Dutch.
Yeah, Dutch.
Yeah,
Like,
for you to say that wasn't going to be in-depth, that was pretty in-depth, bro.
I know you very well, and I know that you can be a bully to people, but you're not a bully by nature to people that don't
Not at all.
fucking, you know what I'm saying, are unwarranted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you're not sugarcoating it, but you're still constructive. Like, there's no reason
Exactly.
to sugarcoat it. If you're
Exactly.
encouraging someone, like, you just gotta, you know, face the music sometimes, and then the music is fucking lit afterwards. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to get judged.
And for me, I even like that's why I'm even was like important to say like, yo, like my judgment doesn't really matter, because for real, like that is something that I super always have felt really strongly about, is like art is really subjective. For as much as like, look, people make fun of all sorts of artists, whether it be what's that band that always is getting, is it not Creed? Is it? No, not Creed. Oh, these dudes. Oh,
Nickelback.
Nickelback.
Nickelback, but they had some hits.
Everybody knew who it was.
Bro, they had hits. Look, another group that gets made fun of constantly in hip hop circles is like Insane Clown Posse. But it's like they got the illest following in the world. Like
I was gonna
everybody
say,
wishes that
dude,
they
the
had
Juggalos come out with Fagos in
you
hand.
wish you had fans like that. Like everybody.
Bro, I wish
wishes
people would
that they
fucking
had
paint their
fans
face and change their whole lifestyle in the name of Dominils. Are you fucking kidding me? Of course.
Every artist wishes that they had fans.
Oh my God, you.
Dama, you got to set an example. You
They have
to
whole
start with- you have to
Juggalo
start
meat.
with an image that people can easily recreate. you know, because like the
Hey,
whole
we gotta go back.
Bronx thing, you know.
It's time for them to come back in.
Okay,
Yeah,
yo,
it's 8:53.
It's time, man. It's time. Mass Law, Dat Boy Craig got to get back in the chat, share their final beats, and we got the final judges, the final judgments. Dizzy's in the building, Dutch is in the building, Soze is in the building. And yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Where we at? Where's all right, I see Craig is here. Where's Mass Law? I know it's mad late where Mass Law is at, man. He's in the UK. We got to give it up because that shit is crazy. International Beat Challenge. Let's get it. Where he at? Could somebody hit up Mass Law?
I just called him. He's hanging out in a breakout room by himself. He'll be back.
Okay. All right, let's wait for him to get in there, and it's about to be the rap. It's about to be.
That's not too bad. 2 a.m. 2 a.m. 2 a.m. I go to sleep
Right,
2 a.m. every morning. You know what I mean? That's regular.
I'm back, yo. I'm back, yo.
All right, perfect. So let's do a virtual coin toss. Let's see. Hold up. Let's do a virtual coin toss.
got a coin
all
ready.
right,
Heads or tails?
you got one. Reality. Let's go. Flip that coin. Heads, it's Craig. Tails, it's Mass Law.
Heads.
Heads it is.
Heads is Craig. Let's go. Craig goes first.
Jukebox, cause you come here. 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 Let's start the show.
Wow. Woo. That Chappelle show shit came in.
That Chappelle at the end was very classy.
Thank you. It was in the beat too. The backwards part, the main backwards part was Chappelle. So
Yeah, I peeped that. I peeped that.
Crazy. All right, Mass Law, it's on you, man. Share your sound. Let's get it.
All right, let's see what's cooking. Boom. Boom, boom. Ciao. All right, hold on. Y'all hear that?
Yep.
Y'all hear that?
Yes,
All right,
sir.
let's go. That's me, man.
Yeah.
That was sick. That was sick.
Yo, let's hear it in the
That was
room.
dope. That was dope. That was dope. Thank you.
Yeah, let's give it up. Let's give it up for these top.
Craig, you fire, blood. You fire, my G.
You too, my man. You too, for sure. For sure.
I'm
Much
just
respect.
saying, this shit is gonna be close.
This
Much
shit is
respect.
definitely gonna be close, man.
Oh,
This
man.
shit is definitely gonna be close. But let's get into it. Let's get into the final judge. Do you got anything to add about your beat, Mass Law, before we move on to the final judgment?
Yeah, obviously. Wait, I'm off mute. Yeah, obviously, you know, the sample flipped it backwards like Craig did. So, like minds, you get me? We're working on the same page.
Yeah, man.
And I like the end, the outro for yours killed that shit for me. You get me? But like, I thought flip it, but take it away and play most of the things melodically because I do most of the playing. Like, even in the last track that I played on the first round, I played almost everything, even sung in the ooh, so it could be part of the chorus and shit like that. So I'm
Wow.
really into the musical side of it. Hence why the project sound, or what I just presented, sounds more like I'm fucking with musical layers. You know, I'm putting
Amazing,
them together.
incredible, man. Incredible, man. Y'all did y'all thing. This has been an amazing challenge. I know the judges got their work cut out for them, but let's hear who's everybody winner is, man. Y'all go. Whoever want to speak first, go right ahead.
All right, so I'll go, I guess. Yo, it was mad close. I got a 19.5 to 19, and I got Mass Law, just by a little bit. It was just the fat bass that he did with the synth fat bass that you did with the wah effect, and all of that was fucking hitting hard. And Craig, yo, what more can I say? You always come. It's always like to the best of your ability, and you always show out. So there's nothing taken. Anyway, you're a winner already. Anyway, you won the first week, so you know what I'm saying. You are a winner. You're both winners tonight, in my eyes. So congratulations to you both.
Respect.
And I just got Mass Law by half a point. That's it.
Whew. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Who wants to go next? Dutch? Yeah, let's get it.
Yo,
Yo.
that was fire. That was wild fire. It was wildfire from both parts. If I gotta give it to anybody, I'ma edge it out to Mass Law with half a point as well. Ta-da.
There you go. Dizzy?
My bad, I was muted and I was flushing out my thoughts. So boom. I have it Mass Law 20. I gave him a perfect 20. Presentation was, I felt like the transitions were crazy. Like every time it went to a new, it had an A side, a B side, C side, like it had every side possible. Like, yo, it kept going. The drops were sick, bro. The drops were sick. You perfectly mastered the sample. The transitions were effortless, bro. It was it was a musical gumbo. You went mad, bro, mad. Like, I gave it a 5. Presentation wise, 5. Creativity, song ability, 5. Instantly could see it had it. I heard Nate Dogg on the hook when I first got to the hook section, and that's crazy because people can't really nail that whole G-funk type of style happening. So yo, it was insane. The bass line was ridiculous. Yo, perfect 20, bro. Perfect 20. Dat Boy Craig, I gave a 19 and a half. Yo, also, Craig, you came crazy, bro. I'm not. Is no. You got to celebrate yourself, bro, for sure. Like, you did your thing.
Respect.
You did your thing. Like, the sample reversed was genius. Like I didn't even notice it was reversed until the end. Like I forgot what sample we was using all the way until like the end. No lie, I was like, damn, that was crazy. I seen it. It was very gritty. You feel what I'm saying? I saw storytelling immediately. I could see it gave me southern vibes to it, like very trippy, saucy vibes. I could put it on a state on the map. I'd probably say like Memphis for sure.
Wow.
That's what I was listening. I was listening to that this morning. MJG.
See what I'm saying? Like I could hear that. I could hear that. It
nice
definitely
right there.
has a bop. It definitely made people dance. It had people dancing, nodding their head, everything. The only thing I could say that was critique that made it a half a point off is that it started so abruptly that I had to adjust when it first came on. Like if that would have came on and I was listening to the radio or in the club, I would be scared. Like, you feel what I'm saying? There was no music for that. There was no anticipation. And I'm Mr. Max, so that shit scared the shit out of me when that started playing. Like I was like, wow, that was crazy. But then I got used to it. I was like, oh, that's fire. Like it was a great use of I could see a concept behind it. I could see the vision with where you were going with it. I just wish it didn't start so abruptly, honestly. But they both were excellent beats. Like no one is really a loser here, but since we have to pick a winner, I'm gonna go with Mass Law.
So that concludes it, man. Congratulations to Mass Law. Everybody come off mute and give it up for Mass Law.
Yeah, congrats.
More fire.
From the UK.
Oh, time Mass Law, yeah.
And let me say, y'all was at neck and neck, and it was just the what do you call it? The change ups that Mass Law did that gave the
it pushed it over the edge.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
that bass.
It definitely pushed it over the edge. That
bass was fire.
Both of you were fire on there. Your bass lines are fire too.
Honestly, Mass Law, I feel like I gave this critique in the first round, and you kind of took most of the shit I was asking for and did it in the second round. Like, bravo!
You know
bro,
what?
for
Yeah.
sure.
Like on the first round, you were spot on. Because what happened is there's a bass line in the first round.
Yeah, it's off key, right?
Yeah, you understand?
I noticed that too.
I think that my machines flipped that whole bass track and key switched it. So I was like, what the fuck? So
yeah.
I cut the bass line and I said, leave that shit out and just let it run with this, because it knocks hard enough. But you're damn right. I'm English. I'm about that bass, I'm about that dirty B line. Hence why the second track was like, bring back the dirty B line, That's what I do. And like, it's mad because for the first 15 minutes, believe you me, I was having troubles. Yeah, I'm getting latency through my TV and all of this shit. And then I was like, this is going to be a nightmare. I'm going to end up with nada. So everything was practically the last 15 minutes. Let's go.
You would have got a full 20 from me if it wasn't for that bass debacle, honestly.
Yeah.
You only got a half a point less.
Yo, I only got one thing to
say. It was so creative. I could
Respect.
still see the vision, even with the mistake. You know what I'm saying? It was excusable. It was something I was able to let go. Like it didn't really take me out of the beat. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah, fact.
It wasn't really a loss. Like it was a loss, but it was one of those loss because we're artists and we become what we think is perfectionists, but we're really obsessing over our shit. That's all.
Yeah.
Like consumers don't care about that shit, bro. That shit not.
Facts. Yo, so that concludes. So like we do at every time, Mass Law, if you could pull up one of your beats to play a victory beat, any one of your beats that you want to play for the Zoom while we wait for Mecca to come in the room for industry talk, and which right after that we got Frio Zoom with Big Zoo and CF. So why don't you Frio Zoom.
Mecca's present as well.
Mecca's present. All right, Meg. So hold up 1 second while we just play a victory beat from Mass Law, and we'll bring you in right after and switch the stream over to the industry talk stream. And love y'all, man. EOB challenge all week, every week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Let's get it.
Great work,
Right,
people.
let's
Great
see,
work.
Let's see what's going on. I'll put this one on random select.